Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile 2. In this episode, I want to start it off with Zealot's Oath. So, for people who don't know, it's different in PoE 2 than PoE 1. To start it off, excess life recovery from regen is applied to Energy Shield. Energy Shield does not recharge. So, in PoE 1, it made your life regen your ES regen, and I think you lose your life regen, and yeah, this one's this one's only the excess. So, why would you want to use this, or like how does it all work? So with Mind Over Matter, all the damage in PoE 2 is taken before from mana before life, where PoE 1 it was only 40%. And so it's my mana first, and I have 70 regen, which we could use the font, 85 and 365 regen. So what happens is the energy shield actually protects the mana. So normally without Zealot's Oath, when you get hit, you would get hit on your mana because all the damage gets taken from your mana before life. So I have a pretty big buffer. I had 1,000, now I have 1789. But the point of this is showing you that your life regen basically won't work until your mana is gone. And then it would just be the mana regen, and then your life regen, and it would almost be like, it would be like your life regen didn't exist till your mana was gone, you know what I'm saying? Where with Zealot's Oath, so the ES comes before the mana, and so when you make your life regen apply to the ES, then it's actually recovering while your mana is getting damaged and like protecting it so it can actually recover, and your life regen is getting applied so over the shield, over your mana and the life. So it's almost like I have 6,000 total health right now. In some ways you could think of it as just the 3938, but I have a 2,000 shield then is another way of thinking about it, that my life regen applies to the shield, and then yeah, the mana regen for just the mana. It's really sick. Zealot's Oath is actually really good. That's why I wanted to also show the example of showing how my ES is breaking, which then people will also, well, I thought about it too. How much energy shield do you need for how much regen? So with 210, I was thinking originally that I would need like hundreds of ES. Like I built 295. I was thinking I needed like 370 or more. But in reality, this is per second, and the game has like ticks per second, and so each tick of healing is like 30 or something of the 210, so it's like 1/7. And so the main point is that you don't heal only every second. It's actually broken up across the second, and then each like increment was like 30. So technically even like 30-40 ES with 200 regen would work, and like 60 for 400, stuff like that would be enough. But yeah, I think you'll have more than that. And so then just don't take Eldritch Battery, don't convert the energy shield to mana, have the extra shield over the mana so that your life regen can apply to that, so that, yeah, you don't have to wait till your whole mana bar is gone before your life regen applies, basically. It's really sick. And like, even where I'm using my skill with Lifetap and it costs life, it's fine because I regen, and then I regen the shield, yeah. I also wanted to go over, so the Zealot's Oath thing is huge. If you went the life and then you have ES, I highly recommend this, because in the mana setup you wanted to convert the ES to the mana so that you could just have big mana and mana regen, but when you're doing life regen, yeah, you can actually use the ES, which is pretty neat. It's like extra life in a way, but also the fact that it goes before the mana makes it so your life regen applies basically in a way to your, it's not directly to your mana, but it protects the mana. Like dots have to go through your life regen, your mana regen, and then your life again. It's like, holy, that's really good. Okay, yeah, so I changed some stuff. Basically I mentioned in the last vid about the dot hound. Highly recommend checking out. I have all the poison, bleed, ignite on the dog. Yeah, last video. And it was for cannibalism. But I also got this glove for gain life per enemy killed. And so when the dots affect enemies, we get the kills, and then we're gonna be gaining life back from the glove now too. The main reason, like the rest of the glove, was just, yeah, big life, 190. I had the big mana. So this is 2 life rolls, a 47 and a 143. And then it had big attributes, in this case int. It could have been strength as well. But yeah, the big mana, because I started using the Mind Over Matter again, so I do care about mana rolls. And like the fact that this is like a 6 mod item, it's crazy. And it's corrupted to have an extra socket, so it's the 4% max life. And each socket basically is like 2 points on my tree, because I could spend a point for 1% max life from this Against the Darkness that I made the video on. Against the Darkness video. So, yo, sockets are huge. 2 points. And that was just a corruption. And then like the rest of the glove is actually disgusting, where I didn't need the extra suffix, so having life per enemy killed is actually sick. And like where that's a lot of life, because we don't have that much. And then yeah, I redid my rings, which I'll go over after I start the round. So I did a breach ring. I found it, I bought it, I mean. It was 6D. And so I found that chaos res enchants are crazy on the ring, because how can this roll 19? It's pretty good. And then he actually did the attribute catalyst for the 50%. And it hit double attributes, strength and int. So this is actually 21 to 24 int, and then 28 to 30 strength. So it's 24 and 29, both well rolled. So maybe he divined it too. And then he had the catalyst 50%, because it's a breach ring. That's crazy. And with the double attribute. And I was already mentioning how rings are really crazy to have double attribute. And then, oh, it was cheap. And then lightning res and mana. And then, yeah, the life goes 100 to 119. So it doesn't have a life catalyst to take it to 130, but the extra attributes are actually extra, because just the strength alone, not counting the belt, how it multiplies it, would be like 86 life. And so it's quite a lot over the 20, you know, and how it has double attribute. The other one's like 70 if it was life, if it was strength instead. Reduced. 40 reduced. That's definitely what he was sending me. His guy actually always snipes the vids, dude. He knows. He's like, why would he be playing Sumu while not streaming? And then he's like, I know he's recording, I'm gonna get in his... And then he's gonna check later, he's like, bro, did I get in the vid? And he's gonna message me, bro, I sniped your vid again. God damn it, man. Okay. Holy dude. 80. Okay, anyways. I also got another... Yeah, so all these have mana too. 130 mana. And then the attributes and the res. And then the 19 chaos is crazy, because on a ring you roll like 20 to 23. Or you could roll like 24 to 27 at the high end. That's like the highest tier mod of chaos. 27. And you could get 19 in an enchant. Where I swear the other one... There's some really bad ones of enchants where you're like, that's not really worth it. But... 19 chaos! That's a whole mod, basically, of what we actually get on our builds. Like, getting chaos could be, yeah, pretty annoying. But, yeah. When you have those 2 mods with the belt, that's all your chaos, easy. And, like, when you could do that on rings, it's actually amazing. And how corruptions are pretty consistent, because there's only, like, when you do Omens of Corruptions, there's only 3. And then, like... it's all, I think only 1 bricks, where the other one just tries to add quality, but it can't, because it's not a gear piece, and can't mess with the sockets if there was sockets, and because of the rune sockets. So yeah, it's basically like pretty likely to just not do anything, or give the enchant. It's just that you're not probably going to get a very good enchant most of the time for what you're actually trying to build. And then yeah, risking it is you do have like a 33% chance to brick it though, so it's still pretty high chance to brick it too. For only one mod, just be aware. Where I bought this, and that's where I could totally understand how these would exist and why people would do it and the value. But then you doing it yourself to actually get an upgrade is pretty hard, unless you're doing like mass corruptions. You would probably want to be doing like at least 3. You'd have 3 rings of the same thing to corrupt, and then you try, and then again you're still only going to be getting like 1 in, and that's using Omens of Corruption. Otherwise you need 4. And that's only to get 1 enchant, and then the likelihood of getting Chaos Res is pretty low. I don't know all the enchants, but there's quite a few. So then this ring, yeah, Chaos Res, Fire Res, and I actually got attributes. So 10 all attributes is 30 total, which I equate 33 to 2 skill points on the tree. So like the 30 attributes is really good. Especially where I was saying how attributes is hard to get on the ring, and then to also have chaos and res and mana and life. It's a really nice ring, and then it's Ellie res implicit as well. And then I think I can whittle, so the Omen of whittling, to change the 2 to 3 cold to attacks to something else, because I don't need that. But I don't know what I could hit, like evasion rating or into the later waves. Now we're big chillin'. My cold res. Corrupting jewels is fun too. GG. What do we get? We got the staff. I don't have any of the adding rune sockets, so never mind. But yeah, the main point of the redoing the glove and the rings was getting mana and potentially as much attributes as possible while still capping the reses. So 98, 76, 76, 76. It's almost like that setup where you have all of them at the same. Imagine if there was one including the chaos, you balanced all your reses, and then you get like this wait, what's it called? Wise Oak? Is that it? And then you get like 10% reduced or less or whatever damage taken of all the types because they're all balanced. Holy shit. 76 on all of them except this. That's so funny. Oh, and then so I mentioned the glove, the rings, and so like there's just a lot of mana. 700 extra basically. I was at 1,000 and I went to 1789, and then the regen was 50 and now it's at 70, which is pretty cool. And then, like I said, the mind over matter. So then the flask also is huge because it heals the whole bar. And then my ES up to 300, but I feel like you could use like 30 to 60 and it would be fine unless you had way more regen than me. And oh yeah, so the chest I also changed. I had a 247 increased armor, evasion, and ES, and this is where I was mentioning the whole, like, I wonder if I needed more ES. It is good. It's not bad to get ES. I'm not saying you have to avoid ES. It's more like, how much did you have to worry about it? And I was saying how the life regen is in parts, so you don't have to have the whole buffer. Anyway, bigger buffer is still better. It's more ES, right? So 247 to 288. So it went from 192 ES to 214. 22 extra is pretty good. Not counting the armor and evasion. And then like it was like 10D, so it was cheap. And then the boot, I sold it, but I had like a 25 life, 23 mana, and like 39 ES, and then the reduced reservation 23%. And so I just realized that there's a bunch of rolls, and like I went, well, what role do I care about the most? And I said life. And then I thought about like ES and mana because of the two other things I'm doing, and it's cool that the boot actually does all the stuff. And 47 life is kind of crazy. It's supposed to be 40, and even that's cool because you got the corruption to go multiply with that. It's pretty rare. And then to also have a good life roll before or after, like it rolled it and then it multiplied it, and wow, that's a pretty big multiply. 47, it's pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, technically if you could squeeze out some extra life or mana or the ES, it is useful if it had quality and stuff. I think I'd get like 8 extra ES or something. But yeah, it adds up where you could squeeze out some more from the chest, the boot, some other places that aren't just the few items to like have to spend so much more, you know, break it up between a few things, get it where you can. And like technically the helmet could have been some ES now that we know, or more mana, but I got this, so then they're pretty rare now. Everyone bought them all. And yeah, my Miami's pretty good. The life rarity +3 strength dex, yeah. And then we have the mana scepter, and so it's still getting use. I never changed it yet. We just have the giga insane mana scepter, where like getting more spirit or getting damage or other things is difficult instead of the mana, where it'd be so expensive. And so we're just sitting on this mana stuff, which gets more use out of it with the extra mana and the extra mana regen rate with all the extra mana we build, along with our life's up to 52, 51. We actually appear to have some evasion and armor now. We have ES, we have mana, we're building everything. 572 spirit, 355 strength. The glove, it was funny, I got a tiny bit extra dex, and it was because of the ring, but then the glove actually was higher than the 51 that it was on the chest, so I 57, and it's nice that I have the extra because they helped me get this glove that had the life per enemy killed. I think it's really good, actually. And then yeah, you saw the Simu is really chill. It's pretty cool. And GG, man. Those are all the updates. Yeah, Zealot's out. Well, I think I may have changed something on the tree a little bit. Oh yeah, I came back down here and got the extra minion damage and whatnot, and changed the jewel from up here. Didn't take the minion LE res. That was the main thing. We are good for the survivability with just this, and changing the life here. But yeah, we still take the damage here over the 8 LE res. I've been thinking about that, but I didn't do it yet. Either way, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Let's take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and YouTube members who financially support the channel. Thanks Rico, David, Hannes, Cynic, Jono Mercy, Salad, Austin, Alex, Johan, and Hate. Thanks so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.